Hi and welcome to Paris, France. You're watching Le Journal de Roland Garros, the daily show that goes backstage and brings you the highlights of one of the world's most prestigious tennis events, Roland Garros. For live competition updates, follow us on Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, or join the conversation with the hashtag RG16. We get today's show started with an exclusive interview with the French tennis champion Marion Bartoli, who talked to us about her recent career change. I'm joined here in the studio by the 2013 ladies singles Wimbledon champion Marion Bartoli. Marion, 2 years later, after winning Marion, you turn your hand to fashion, going to study at Central St Martin's of Art and Design, one of the most reputable fashion colleges in the world. Why this career change?
Yes, it has been actually a dream coming true for me. You know, it was two of my biggest dreams in life was to be a Wimbledon champion and then to become a fashion designer. So I have that in since I'm a child, really. And being able to go to Central St. Martin, study there, work with Roland Garros as well as my mentor has been an incredible journey. And since last year when I got my fashion degree, I moved into designing for Fila, and just launching the collection this year here in Paris has been just amazing.
The relationship between fashion and tennis is moving beyond the courts, with big designers really implying themselves and getting involved in tennis. What kind of provoked all this? Where does this come from, all this sudden interest in women's tennis?
Well, I think, you know, tennis is an art, is in itself. And I think the way, well, I remember when I was playing, I was really trying also to bring my sort of art and creativity the way I was playing and the way you move the ball around and you construct points. And I think obviously the girls, you know, are traveling the world and goes into different culture as well. And as a designer, it's very interesting. You know, now being in the other side, I'm able to think, okay, if someone wears my collection in Melbourne, Australia, what kind of print I want to bring on? Here in Paris, it would be something different. Same in London, same in New York. So it's just also very engaging for the mind as a creator, and I think it's just great that the two of it can really mix and match.
Do you have a player that you'd really like to dress?
I would love to dress Serena, but Jenny Bouchard actually came to me 2 days ago and said I couldn't stop staring at the dress Jelena Jankovic you designed was wearing at Rome. I thought this dress was just so cool. So I think it was really nice from her to say that, you know, she liked my design, and maybe one day I will design for her.
So Roland Garros is a reference in terms of art, architecture and fashion. What does this event evoke for you?
It evoked for me the 70s and the 80s. It evoked for me Vogue. I remember, you know, here at the Village, actually, I used to have the Vogue breakfast, where it was the place to be. All the VIPs, all the models wanted to be here, wanted to come to Paris. Also, the first front rows, when you have all those beautiful ladies coming up with the new hats, and Chantal Thomas as well, who brought a collection 2 years ago, dressing some of the hostess here with her new design, so lingerie with tennis, and Suzanne Langlaine as well. Suzanne Langlaine was really a pioneer into fashion and into fashion on the court, and she's French.
Of course, yes, so Suzanne, and as well as Chris Evert. These are two women that have really stood out here at Roland Garros with their sartorial style. Any one of these an icon for yourself?
Well, I love Chrissy. I love the way she was actually wearing that high waist skirt with a top inside. I thought it was looking so cool. I remember Venus Williams actually also wearing one of sort of Moulin Rouge dress. It was a little bit provocative, but definitely Paris, and I would say London as well with the all white. I think a lot of brands are trying to be creative with white. I would come up this year in Wimbledon with a lace collection.
Okay.
So my white Fila collection will be made out of lace, luxury lace. So we will see if people like it or not. It will be narrows and selfridges.
Well, it sounds very sexy. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
You.
Thank you. So what sartorial surprises do the top seeds have in store for us this year? The tournament kicked off yesterday. Here are the highlights of the on-court action. celebrated his birthday here yesterday, so as Novak Djokovic was in good spirits, we pulled him aside and we asked him a few quickfire questions.
Let's start. Backhand. One match. Chatrier. French is becoming more important in my life.
The Roland Garros Museum is home to some of tennis's most historical archives. In an object today, we trace back the history of the illustrious Coupe des Mousquetaires.
The champion of the men's single tournament began receiving the Coupe Pierre Gilloux from 1953. Before that, the winner got a basic medal. This same trophy design was used for quite a few years. The last player to receive it was Borg in 1978, who accidentally was the only player to take home all three of the famous Roland Garros men's trophies, the Coupe Pierre Gilloux, the first Coupe des Mousquetaires and the current Coupe des Mousquetaires. Philippe Chatrier, who was then the president of the French Tennis Federation, decided the tournament needed a more distinguished trophy, one worthy of a Grand Slam and of Roland Garros. He did some research and came up with the first design for the Coupe des Mousquetaires, which was presented to players from 1978 to 1980. However, it wasn't up to par, and in 1980 the current Coupe des Mousquetaires was created.
In my job at Roland Garros, we meet the nanny who looks after the players and the coaches' children while they're out on the court.
I'm an early childhood educator and I manage the Roland Garros nursery. We watch the players' children and the coaches' children. We accept kids from 3 months to 8 years old and they can come whenever they want. If a match is underway and hasn't finished by 8 p.m, obviously we don't turn the children out. We stay late until somebody is able to pick them up. The kids are used to seeing one another from other tournaments, so they often know each other and grow up together. Most of the kids travel quite a lot, so we don't make them follow our schedule, but rather we follow theirs. That means if they're hungry at a certain time, we adapt. Or if they want to sleep at what seems like a strange time for us, we let them. They can watch their parents play tennis on the television and they're happy to see them. They don't always understand if they're winning or losing, but the parents are quite happy. For example, if they won, they're very proud to come straight away to see their child and tell them, "I did it, I won my match." And it's the same for those who lose. Some players come by first thing after their match to get a hug from their little one. That hug may be the one they care most about that day.
Le Journal de Roland Garros has come to an end today, but don't worry, we'll be back with even more tomorrow. Until then, stay connected on rolandgarros.com and join the conversation on social media with the hashtag RG60. Au revoir et à demain.